Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about yet another update that has come for Black Ops 4 called version 1.11. Now in this update, they went ahead and brought a couple of different changes to the Blackout mode, multiplayer, and zombies, and I want to go ahead and break down all of the main points that I feel like is worth sharing to you guys to basically keep you guys up to date about what's going on within the game. Now, like every single update I basically go ahead and cover for this game, there's a lot of different things within the patch notes that I won't get to here in the video, because if I do, I feel like I would be sitting here for like another 10 or 20 minutes just talking about like small things such as stability fixes and bug fixes for certain game modes or certain features within the game, and I feel like no one is going to want to sit there and listen to all of that, so I'm not going to cover every tiny detail of this patch that has come out for Black Ops 4. However, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for the patch notes so you guys can go ahead and read upon it yourselves if you guys want to read every little detail of it. But once again, I'm only going to go ahead and cover the main points that I feel like is worth sharing, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and start off talking about the new looting interface within Blackout. So basically, there is a new looting interface for all console players that is basically now like a grid-like system with multiple pages for all stash types. Now, when it comes down to identical items, they will now stack inside a stash instead of being displayed individually, meaning when you go ahead and start looting an enemy after you take them out, you're not just going to see like 3 different bandages or like 2 different med kits or 3 different individual trauma kits. You're going to see one icon for one trauma kit, but if the person that you just took out has 3 of them, you're going to pick up all 3 at the same time instead of having to pick them up one by one, which is really great. This makes the system much more efficient and much more quickly, and it's really enhancing even my Blackout experience now, because now I don't have to waste too much time, going through a person's backpack, making sure I got all of the loot that I really need from it without, putting too much time into it or making myself be in a very vulnerable position where anyone else can take me out while I'm trying to loot someone else that I just took out. So once again, great new looting system that they went ahead and brought out to Blackout, and on top of that, they went ahead and also made it where remaining armor within the loot or the stash of the fallen enemy is now displayed on armor items in a stash. Basically what this means, you can go ahead and see how much armor is left of like a level 1 armor if that's what you're looking at, or how much armor is left of that level 2 armor you're looking at, or maybe how much armor is left of that level 3 armor you're looking at if those are the specific armors that are within that enemy's stash. So that's another great feature once again. And then when it comes down to gameplay mechanics for Blackout, they went ahead and reduced the concussion grenade stack count to 1, meaning every player can only pick up 1 concussion grenade at most. So what this is going to do is basically reduce the concussion spamming that's going on within Blackout, especially if players enter the top 15, top 10, or top 5, but I still feel like that they shouldn't go ahead and focus on how many concussion grenades a player can carry. Rather, they should go ahead and focus on the way concussion grenades affect the player when they're stunned by them, because when you look at past Call of Duty titles, whenever a player was concussed by another player that's going up against them, they can still go ahead and go prone or aim down their weapon or move around, but basically be very slowed down. Here in Black Ops 4, you can't even do any of that except for maybe like fire from the hip with like no accuracy whatsoever. So in a way, when you get concussed within Blackout, you pretty much just might as well go ahead and put your controller down and call it a quits, because you're not going to win that fight for the most part. So yeah, I'm glad that they went ahead and started to go in the right direction when it comes to concussions, but at the end of the day, I still feel like that they need to reevaluate how they're looking at the problem to begin with. But that's pretty much all there is when it comes down to Blackout. However, there is one more thing I want to go ahead and mention, and that is that they're making Blackout free to play from January 17th all the way up until January 24th. And yes, you heard me right, it's going to be free to play for that small window of time. Now, of course, this is just Activision and Treyarch trying to go ahead and basically see how the free to play system works for them, or entice players who haven't really went ahead and bought Black Ops 4, basically by giving them a little taste of Blackout and then maybe trying to convince them to buy the entire game for that mode specifically, or just to get into Black Ops 4 if they really didn't want to go ahead and give it a try to begin with. So at the end of the day, we might see Blackout become free to play depending on the success of the results from this, and hopefully everything happens for the best. So that's pretty cool to see. Now, when it comes down to multiplayer, there are a lot of changes that have come to the mode, but once again, I'm only going to be highlighting the stuff that I feel like is worth sharing with you guys, and there is definitely a lot of things that I might not mention in this video. But anyways, let me go ahead and talk about what are some of the things that have come to multiplayer. So when it comes to the maps Elevation and Madagascar, they are now finally being added to the normal map rotation for all Black Ops Pass holders instead of being locked behind a specific playlist that only has those 2 maps. So once again, this is great news for all of you Black Ops Pass holders, and Treyarch did also go ahead and announce that from here on out, anytime they add a new map or new maps to the game, they're going to automatically go ahead and throw those maps also in the normal map rotation and not have to cause players who have the Black Ops Pass to wait for that to happen. So that's also great news. Now, when it comes down to game modes, they went ahead and added a couple of different modes to the feature featured playlist section of multiplayer, and these modes include Chaos Control, TDM 100, Team Tactical Mosh Pit, Mercenary Hardcore Mosh Pit, and Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit. And once again, all of these featured playlists are available for both the PS4, Xbox One, and as well as PC players. Now, the following updates have come for consoles and will be coming later for PC, but basically they went ahead and changed a couple of things to game modes such as Heist, where they added the SWAT RFT assault rifle, the Damon 3XB SMG, the Combat Axe, and the EMP Disruptor to the mode. And then when it comes down to something like the Specialists, they went ahead and nerfed Zero yet once again. Now, basically what's going to be happening with Zero is that while she's hacking the enemy players, those players can still go ahead and use their specialist weapons or equipment while being hacked. So if you want to go ahead and use your Tempest or maybe Battery's War Machine while you're getting hacked, you can go ahead and do so. And this is great because now Treyarch is starting to realize how Zero is actually overpowered. So I'm glad that we're getting a couple of different nerfs when it comes to her, but at the end of the day, I really do hope that they tackle more of the fact that she takes down score streaks more easily than something like shutting down specialists and their weapons and special equipments and stuff like that, you know? So hopefully they go ahead and refocus once again their attention on that later on, but at the end of the day, we'll just have to see the reception that players are giving about Zero after today's update. Now, when it comes down to something like perks, they went ahead and buffed the Cold-Blooded perk by taking the enemy score streak targeting delay and increasing it from 5 seconds to 7 seconds. They also improved the Team Link perk by increasing the circular vision radius by 9%. They updated the tactical mask description to include increased resistance against EMP disruptors. And finally, for the tracker perk, the detection icon will now clear correctly if the player switches to a class without the tracker perk. Now, of course, there's also different changes coming to multiplayer in regards to score streaks, gear, challenges, weapon customization such as reactive camos, custom games, and all that kind of stuff, but these all include like stability fixes or bug issues that have been addressed. So once again, it doesn't really seem like it's interesting enough to go ahead and cover specifically in this video, but if you want to go ahead and read upon that a little bit more, the link to the patch notes is in the description below. Now finally, for all of you Zombies fans out there, this update went ahead and brought a lot of different cool things for you guys specifically. So today is January 15, which means we now have our 115 day celebration event in which Zombies double XP, Zombies double weapon XP, and double Nebulum plasmas have been activated starting today, January 15th, all the way up until January 18th. And of course, for the PS4 only, we now have our new Gauntlet mode. So basically, the new Gauntlet mode is only live in the map Voyage of Despair as of right now. The other maps will eventually get their own Gauntlet modes later on, but for now, it's only part of Voyage of Despair, in which basically you will have 30 rounds of challenges with unique rules for each round. Players will also earn medals and tiered rewards for completing rounds 10, 20, and 30, as well as an additional reward for completing round 30 without failing a round once. Players are also issued a strike by failing a round, with the game ending after 3 strikes, and all matches are timed for competitive speed run support. Now, in addition to this new Gauntlet mode, they also went ahead and added 3 new elixirs, which I'll go ahead and put their descriptions up either on the screen somewhere or basically leave it up to you guys to go ahead and read it in the description below, just because I'm not really a big Zombies player, so I'm not really the best in terms of knowing what elixirs really do for zombies. So yeah, I'll either go ahead and put it up on your screen or leave it up to you guys to read on your own time, but they went ahead and added 3 new elixirs for the Gauntlet mode. And with that said, that's pretty much all I wanted to go ahead and cover in this video for you guys. Let me know in the comment section below of what you guys think of all of these changes to Black Ops 4. Do you guys like some of the updates that have come or not? Me personally, I think that some of the updates such as the Blackout looting system changes or the new Gauntlet mode are exciting, but when it comes down to something like multiplayer, I feel like it's not getting as much love as something as Blackout is, because of the fact that they want to go ahead and focus more on the success of that mode than anything else, which basically makes me and a lot of players think that multiplayer is just not getting a lot of love this year. So hopefully they go ahead and change that with maybe future updates or something like that, because I really do want to go ahead and see multiplayer be just as successful as something like Blackout and even something like Zombies, which a lot of people can argue that Zombies is not really getting as much love either, but that's besides the point. Point is, hopefully we start to see much more cool things come to the game that will allow us to want to keep playing more and more every day. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in today's video. So if you guys enjoyed it, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll never miss an upload, and follow me on my social media accounts to stay connected. Links will always be in the description below, and I'll go ahead and talk to you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves, and bye.